I feel like I'm running out of time in life. Like I have a huge urgency to make something happen right now. It's like every day that I have to go into work, it's like I feel like it's another day that I've let the opportunity slip to make something happen for myself. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but that's kind of like how I feel. Yeah, I working is not a problem for me. No, no, I'm real appreciative of my job, but like I said, like every time I gotta go in, every time I go in, it just feels like I sort of let myself down. Like I didn't do something 100% to where I can feel feel accomplished. Like I don't I don't know how to really explain it, or I don't know how to really convey it or put it, but it's just I don't look at working a job as being a failure. I don't look at it like that. I just feel like the more aggressive I get to obtain that time freedom, then maybe I'll probably feel a little bit better. But yeah, I have an urgency to just, because I mean, working until retirement was never in my plans. That was something that I never really looked forward to, and something that I never really just took the grasp of. People be like, oh, you work, get your 401k, and, you work until you retire and all that. That's not what I'm going to do, because you have an option. You don't have to do that. Most people choose that, but you don't have to choose that route in life. You don't have to work somewhere until you retire. Until, like, I mean, a lot of people that may, I ain't knocking nobody that chooses to do that, but from like the way I'm looking at it, it's like, no, there's so many things that could be done to avoid that lifestyle, because a lot of people that got that type of that works until retirement is like, I done talked to people that wish they had done other things sooner. Some people done told me that they could have took a different route, but they didn't do it. They chose to just, work for a company until it's time to retire. I seen a video the other day of a wife explaining how her husband just got laid off or terminated after 30 years there. 30 years, and he was there since he was 19 years old, and they just let him go like it was nothing. They just let him go like he was nothing, like he had no meaning to the company or nothing. I mean, that blew my mind. I mean, that's not the first time I heard of anything like that, but when somebody like that, kind of puts things in another perspective. Like, you know, you gotta try to make something happen for yourself other than just working and retiring, because you never know. I mean, you never know. I mean, especially in the days that we living in right now, you never know what, these companies don't care about how many years you put in for them. No, it's still a job. And at the end of the day, they can let you go whenever they want to. So my thing is, like, recording videos. This is something that I always wanted to do, but it was like I was so busy with work, and when I come home, like throughout the years, and when I would come home, it's like the only thing that I could think about was just relaxing until, because I'm thinking, Mama, I got to go to work and do this all over again tomorrow. So it's like, go to work, come home, get as much chill time, rest that I could possibly get before it's time to go back in and do it all over again. And then when the weekends would come, I wouldn't really do nothing but just rest and just, just lay around, take it easy, because I know on Monday I got to go in and do the same thing all over again, 5 days on, 2 days off. But yeah, the YouTube thing, it was I was just putting it off because I wasn't taking that extra effort to make sure that I was doing something for myself that could possibly get me away from a 9 to 5. I mean, who knows? I mean, you never know. So I'm like, I'm gonna go on here and I'm gonna try to post a video every day. Why not? I mean, sitting in front of a camera and just talking about a couple of things that's going on in your life, things that you trying to obtain or whatever, things that you're trying to accomplish. I mean, why not, get on camera and talk about it? I mean, you never know. Somebody may need to hear your current situation to help them to the next level, or hear your story to help them get to the next step in life. You never know, man. You just never know. But it's just like I'm not gonna keep sitting here because it was became a pattern to where I would go to work, come home. I would go work for somebody for 8 to 12 hours a day, and then come home and not do nothing for myself. That's insane. Like you could go give somebody else 8 to 12 hours of your time, and then you come home and you don't do nothing for yourself to get to set you up to possibly get away from this type of lifestyle. I mean, I think that's just insane. Like, and I was doing that for years, just going to work, coming home, giving people all of my time, giving jobs and companies all my time, and coming home and not actually doing anything for myself. Nothing. Like I wouldn't come home and do nothing. Wasn't working on anything because I had just let that job take all my time, all my energy, and I come home and that's all I did was just sit around, lay around, and just, get myself together for the next day. And then I done worked so hard through the week that when my off days is here, I'm not doing anything. I'm just laying around, still not working on nothing to possibly get me out of a 9 to 5. So I'm just saying this to say to you that if you have an urgency to escape the 9 to 5 lifestyle, if there's something, even if it's recording, do something. Do something that can get you one step closer to time freedom. Time freedom. Where you can make money without having to wake up to an alarm clock and go in and punch in that clock. That's what I'm talking about. And every day I get ready to go in, it's just stressful. It's like, I feel like I'm dragging myself in to do this every day. I'm making myself go into this job that I don't hate. I'm not. I don't hate it, but just not having that time, to just do what you want to do instead of it being controlled. If you know what I mean. I don't know if I said that right, but it's just the urgency at my age. It just feels like at 45, time is just running out. We're not getting younger here on this planet, on this earth. So it's like every day that goes by, the urgency grows a little bit more aggressive. I never really envisioned myself being the type of guy that just work until the end, work a job until the end. That was never a thought. That was never a plan for me. But of course, I'm going to work and do what I have to do because we all have bills. And being a responsible and adult, go to work and do the best you can and pay your bills. But I just keep telling myself, like, Reggie, you got to show up for yourself 100% every day. The way you show up for these companies and these jobs, you got to show up for yourself the same way every single day. If you expect to make it out of this, to get away from this 9 to 5, You got to make something happen. You got to go in all in on yourself 100% every day. Something, working on something that can get you out of the 9 to 5. If that if that's what you're seeking, because I know that's what I'm seeking. So every day I just get more aggressive and just do more for myself, do just as much for myself as I just did for this company. Because we're living in different times right now, it's more ways than just working. And I just feel like I wasted so much time in life. I just made a lot of, well, I won't say a lot of bad decisions. It was just, um, some things you just can't, you can't control everything, that happens in life. Life be lifing, things happen. I mean, I have made bad decisions in the past and I have learned from those bad decisions. I lost a lot of time throughout the years and I also learned from that. So it's like now, at the age that I am, being single and all, or divorced, it's time to enjoy life. It's time to enjoy life. I don't want to spend it working for people forever. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to go wherever I want to go whenever I want to. And I'm going to have that. And that's the thing that I'm working on every day. Every day. Because that's the type of life I always envisioned for myself. So I have to make it happen. I can't sweep it under the rug. I mean, this is the thoughts that have been on my mind since I was the age of 14. That was the first year that I started working, since I was 14. And I'm 45 now, and I've been working since then. And majority of those jobs have been physical labor jobs. Most of them intense physical labor. So it's like at the age that I am right now, kind of burned out, kind of burned out. That's why, where I'm at right now, it's pretty easy dropping hook, night work. It's really nothing physical about it besides opening the trailer doors, and cranking the landing gear up and down, that's about it. But at the same time, I'm a morning guy and I'm working nights. So I'm not making up excuses. I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, well, I work nights. I'm going to be tired and I just don't have enough energy. I just can't. I'm just going to go to sleep because I'm a morning guy and I'm working nights. So I can't do it. I can't work on bettering myself. I can't work on something that could possibly get me away from a 9 to 5. I'm not making those excuses. I'm dealing with it, tired and all. I don't care. I'm making something happen because I don't want to look back and in a couple of years and regret. I already have enough of those, but I don't want to be somewhere within the next 3 to 5 years looking back, regretting about things that I didn't execute on and where it could have taken me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going all in, tired and all. I don't care how much rest I didn't get, how much I don't like to do something. Like I mean, like sitting up here recording this right now, I got to go to work in a few. But hey, I'm making time. It's always time. You can squeeze in time from somewhere. So I'm just attacking my urgency that I have right now at this age to make something happen for myself, because it's more important than ever right now. And I just feel like if there's nothing in the end, if I just keep giving all my time to companies, there's not nothing, there's nothing, for me, there's nothing to be happy about. It's just giving all my time to a job, to a 9 to 5. And then that's just the end of it. I have to make something happen for myself, and I'm going to make something happen for myself. And I'm going to show up on this platform as much as I can to make sure that I make something happen for myself. I have to. I can't sit here and just continue to let the years roll by and do anything and not do nothing. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm already slightly feeling like a failure, so I cannot let that feeling grow.